Was the murder of 50-year-old Akhlaq in Dadri, not too far away from the national capital region, the act of a group of people who were utterly misguided and led into this murder in the heat of the moment? Or was there in fact a larger conspiracy at hand? Fresh details are emerging about how in that particular area there could have been larger forces at work. Is this true? And is this once again a very unfortunate reminder that forces behind incidents like what we saw in 2013 in Muzaffarnagar are indeed alive and strong in parts of Uttar Pradesh? Joining us now to debate this, the Samajwadi Party leader Gaurav Bhatia, Rakesh Sinha of the RSS, and Professor Ish Mishra, an associate professor of Delhi University, who was one of the authors of the 2013 report, an independent report on Muzaffarnagar. Thank you all very much for joining us. Gaurav, let me come to you first. There is news now emerging of a group called the Samadhan Sena, a group which has in the last couple of months apparently made its presence felt in this particular area, and the tactics seem to be old and time tested. Wherever there is a loudspeaker in a mosque, there is an objection. Wherever there is a shop which is being set up by a Muslim man, there are issues because apparently it could be in a Hindu area. And apparently this group could have been behind getting 100-odd people incensed because they went to a temple and got a message to be sent out, which resulted in this mob murdering Muhammad Akhlaq. Do you know anything more of Samadhan Sena?
No, Vishnu, first of all, you mentioning the name of Samadhan Sena, even yesterday I had mentioned the same thing, that there appears to be an invisible force.
Yeah, so
that has
you never named this force. So I'm asking you, is this that invisible force?
Yes. No, Vishnu, I would just say that it is good for the media as well as for me to exercise restraint at this juncture, because the investigating officer is doing the needful, as we are seeing. He has already interrogated the priest of the temple. He is also interrogating others. And if we start discussing where the investigation is leading us, I think it becomes dangerous for the investigation itself, and we jeopardize the investigation.
No, but Gaurav, I'm not asking you about the investigation per se. I'm merely asking you, as a leader of the Samajwadi Party, to confirm the existence of a group in that area which has been responsible for this particular attack. The Samadhan Sena, even if it's not responsible for this attack, is it a fact that it exists in that area?
My own information is that there is a group called the Samadhan Sena, and now the complicity of that organization with the crime, I would not like to comment because it would not be appropriate. However, Vishnu, I would just like to come to another worrisome trend, that yesterday when I was talking to your channel, I had pointed about Nawab Singh Nagar, an ex-BJP MLA, who had made very irresponsible statements yesterday. He had said that some children got excited and killed this poor man, and their arrest itself should not have taken place. Today, he went a step further to say that we will call a Mahapanchayat. And I was hearing his statement, and he said that we will stand by these innocent youth. I think such statements being made by BJP leaders itself show how their mindset is, and the senior leaders are keeping quiet on that. Mr. Amit Shah spoke, but after 24 hours, when each second and each minute.
No, but this has been condemned by the BJP at the center immediately. Nobody is saying that this murder is justified. They are saying it's wrong. You can debate the explanations being provided on the larger situation, but there isn't a single BJP leader who said that under the circumstances it was okay what happened.
No, Vishnu, I hope you have heard what Dr. Mahesh Sharma said today. No, he said that this murder is due to a misunderstanding.
No, but they have all criticized the murder itself.
Like a union minister.
Explanations can be disagreed upon. But be that as it may, but I want to go back and I wanted to ask you, Professor Sinha, a responsible former MLA of the BJP, in fact a former UP minister, Nawab Singh Nagar, 2 days ago, in fact yesterday, told journalists that there were a group of excited people, they went and murdered, almost as a justification for the murder, and has now said, and I quote, if the allegation that the victim's family consumed beef is true, only the family will be held responsible. Isn't this a singularly irresponsible statement?
I agree with you, this is most irresponsible statement, but are we discussing the statement of a particular MLA or a particular leader, or are we discussing a particular incident? That's fine. We can discuss everything, every part of things should be discussed. But how cleverly Gaurav Bhatia transferred the onus on Bharatiya Janata Party's MLA's statement. The Uttar Pradesh has been turned into an orderless state. There is no order. The man of Uttar Pradesh, the patriarch of the Samajwadi Party and the government, you just go through his statements about the rape, about the women, about the society, about Dalits, and last 3 and 4 years, the number of Dalit women who are victim of the organized crime is, I think, Uttar Pradesh is #1 in India. So what I say, that this is the complete failure of the law and order of the Uttar Pradesh. And
is this a simple law and order situation?
No, NDTV knows.
Can I respond to that?
Let me complete.
Gaurav, half a second. Yes.
NDTV knows about the Samadhan Sena,
yes,
but Gaurav Bhatia and Samajwadi Party and the government and CID doesn't know. My point on this is that if whatever you are saying, that Muslims are being boycotted, their mosque is being disturbed, then why not the government is taking action? The journalists come to know, but CID doesn't know.
Rakesh, why don't you reply? Why don't you reply? Is the action that you've taken strong enough? And if there is a group called the Samadhan Sena, you're not saying it, we know it has been reported by the Indian Express. We are reporting the existence of a group called the Gau Raksha Samiti in that area, which today told us, our reporters, that the men arrested have been innocent. So there are these forces over there. Why is the government acting post the incident? Why couldn't you do something before?
Even immediately
Vishnu,
after the incident.
Let me tell you that. Can I respond now, please?
Yes.
Vishnu? I think it was my foremost responsibility to first deal with the incident that we are discussing, and I showed you how the government has taken action and they are further investigating, and we will nab the other culprits also who are on the run. However, for you to say that preventive measures are not taken by the government, I think you are incorrect, because you would remember how Mr. Sangeet Som just a few months back rushed to Muradabad to again incite communal feeling and orchestrate a riot there. He was detained immediately. Please don't interrupt me now. Please don't interrupt me.
Question to you.
Please don't interrupt me.
You are deviating everything.
I will answer when you are not diverting.
I am
not
go ahead,
diverting.
Gaurav.
No,
Yes,
he's
go.
diverting. He's just giving a lecture.
No, but you also spoke about the state of lawlessness in UP. So let him make his point.
It is the example of the lawlessness.
We'll come back. We'll come back.
No, he says that
when you
during
try
the
to place
investigation,
convincing answers,
Rakesh ji, I'll
interruption
come
in
to you.
between.
I'll come to you. Let him make his point, and we can disagree with his point. But go ahead and let him make it. Yes, Gaurav.
Yeah. Vishnu, what was your question? Your question was that why doesn't the state government prevent these
Yes,
kind of incidents?
yes,
If I
yes.
didn't hear you wrong. So I was trying to give you an example that in Muradabad and in other areas also where BJP leaders again tried to orchestrate a riot, they were detained and no untoward incident happened. And intelligence inputs are gathered, a lot of work is done. There are many incidents which are prevented by the state government. Probably they don't get the kind of attention the media should be giving them. But yes, in this incident, we have acted and we will be acting. Now, the second part is when Mr. Rakesh Sinha says that UP is a lawless state. I just wanted to tell him, please read the National Crime Record Bureau report of 2014. When it comes to riots, Chhattisgarh has 3.2 crime rate. When it comes to Goa, it is 6.9%. And Gujarat is 2.2 and UP is 3%.
So these are all
it's
statistics.
Not as if UP
so these are all statistics, but I can
these are
also
not-
I
so
can also
how-
counter that.
How you compare? How can you compare
Professor Ish
without
Mishra
statistics,
is one of the
without-
authors
without
of this
deciding
report,
what is the-
Communalism and the Role of the State in an Investigation into the Communal Violence in Muzaffarnagar and its Aftermath, December 2013. He's one of the authors, and among other things, this report, Gaurav says, and let me quote, the clashes reflect a total breakdown of governance. There is thorough communalization of the state machinery. The police and administration did little to prevent the violence. So while you say that there are numbers to prove your point, this is also a reality which exists in the state.
Can I respond?
Yes.
Yes, Vishnu, Muzaffarnagar riots is the incident that you are discussing and this report is discussing. After that, it has been reported in all leading newspapers that the number of riots in UP has dipped significantly, and I can always place those reports before you. Secondly, what worries us the most is that yes, law and order is a state subject and it is state responsibility. But why is it that BJP leaders are complicit in crime? They are the perpetrators of crime. Just because it is our responsibility to maintain law and order, does that justify BJP leaders who are being charge-sheeted and who are facing trials to incite communal violence? That is the question I want to ask.
One line, I have to counter. How you justify that incident? Because the state completely failed, and until now, the investigation has not reached to any conclusive stage. And you are saying that you will not make a comment because the investigation is going on. 6 arrests are nothing
for you.
Let me complete.
6 arrests are nothing for you, Mr. Rakesh Sinha.
Same parameter you apply to Gujarat, same parameter you apply to other states. Here, because your state is involved, kindly don't politicize.
The Godhra riot investigation took years.
If you are criminalized and politicize, you want
to talk about Godhra riot?
It
is very much political and communal matter. It is not question of criminalizing. It is absolutely political matter.
All right, okay. Professor Sinha, let Professor Mishra have his point. He's been waiting patiently. Go ahead.
As we have written in this report that Muzaffarnagar and subsequently Saharanpur has been a tacit alliance between RSS, Modi and the Mulayam Singh. If you look at the affidavit which Mulayam Singh government wanted from the refugees for 5 lakhs rupees,
so that they don't move back into the same areas.
They don't move back into the same areas.
Yes.
Even most brutal fascist would not do that. To completely...
No, but the point that Gaurav makes is that since then there has been a change on the ground. Can you tell us, as somebody who's been there and who knows that area, that these communal forces, whatever the forces are, whether it's Samajwadi Party forces or forces of the BJP, they still exist?
No communal riot can take place instantly. All the riots historically have been pre-planned, one. Second, if the administration wants, it can stop the riot within 1 hour time. So, we have concluded that because Mulayam Singh's interest was creating an insecurity among the Muslims, so that they have nowhere else to go except to them. And RSS had been doing that for the since 84. After it realized, after taking a modest line of Gandhian socialism, it witnessed that Rajiv Gandhi.
We are discussing, if you are discussing RSS ideology, I am very sorry. I am very sorry that NDTV should not be used as anti-RSS propaganda.
Look,
they are certain people.
He's not talking about RSS philosophy.
No, we are not discussing RSS.
Are you talking about RSS? Sir, are you talking about RSS in the context of Uttar Pradesh? Right. So can you restrict yourself? Can you restrict yourself to that, sir? Because we don't want to talk about
In Muzaffarnagar, the preparations had been going for quite few time. Rajnath Singh had attended a Khap Panchayat in Kutwa village.
Why are we discussing Muzaffarnagar? Right.
No, that's what he is discussing.
No. We can discuss Muzaffarnagar. We can discuss Muzaffarnagar. Don't stretch anybody and any organization because BJP is not there.
We are just trying to understand the point that he is trying to make, where he associates the presence of the RSS in a particular area. I take your point that this is not about the RSS incident.
This is typical RSS style to divert the issue.
All right, Professor Sinha, you made your point, sir. Go ahead, and then I'll go to Gaurav.
Okay, you abuse RSS, I will listen carefully. This is the rubbish report.
1 second. We are going to Dadri tomorrow.
Yes, you go Dadri 10 times. You go 10 times Dadri. Nobody
this is no way.
I say.
Please, I'm walking out. He doesn't let me complete.
You go 10 times to Dadri. You go 10 times to Dadri.
Ask him to let me complete and then comment on that.
Can I ask both of you to take pause for 1 minute?
I am taking pause, but this is not the propaganda.
I would not like to
discuss the propagandist. I don't discuss the propagandist.
Please, no standing. I am a propagandist.
All right, gentlemen. can you be quiet
Please.
for a minute? I will come back to you once you
No,
calm
just a
down.
second.
I want to go back to Gaurav.
I listened to him patiently.
Sir, Professor
And
Mishra, I promise you I'll come back to you.
No, he
Bear
did
with
not
me,
allow
sir.
me to complete even a sentence.
No, Professor Mishra,
This
I'll
is
come back to
typical
you.
RSS tactics
Professor
of diverting
Mishra,
the issue.
all right, Professor Mishra, pause. Let me just go to Gaurav. Gaurav, as we try and calm the situation down over here, the moot point over here, and unfortunately, is an investigation which is being carried out over there on whether this was beef or mutton. Local sources, reports indicate that this was mutton in the fridge. It's ridiculous that an issue of whether it was beef or mutton or what the meat in somebody's fridge was would result in the murder of a person. But for what it's worth, why is it taking the government and investigators so long to come out with this detail? What are you afraid of, sir?
No, first of all, Vishnu, I completely agree with you that the entire attention right now should be on the murder that has taken place. A human life has been lost. But since yesterday, spokesperson after spokesperson from the BJP have been talking about beef, cow slaughter, Hindu riots. They're trying to give it a communal shade, which is very unfortunate. Second is the investigation part that you have asked me. Let me tell you, here is a case where there could be a conspiracy angle. There are 10 named persons and 5 unnamed persons in the FIR and a mob. Investigation, interrogation, collection of evidence does take time. But at every stage, when you have enough evidence to take action like arresting, like seizures, those are being done, and that inspires confidence. Let us just wait and give the police sufficient time to crack this case so that we have a foolproof charge sheet and so that in the trial they are convicted. That I think should be our priority.
All right.